I am April, the kitchen strategist, and my entire goal is to help you stop eating your money. And I know that can be a very daunting thing when it seems like the prices of groceries are continuing to skyrocket. But today we're going to discuss my 5 point grocery saving system that I have been using well over for maybe almost 5 years at this point, and it seems to work for me very well. So I am not a girly that believes in gatekeeping. So we are going to jump right into today's live. Alrighty, so here we go. All right. The problem, it's not that, groceries is an issue. It's the fact that it's the system. Now, I'm not saying that the price of groceries aren't extremely high and they don't make things complicated for us because they do. However, if you put a particular system in place, it will likely help you reduce some of the spending that you're doing in a grocery store. And I am no stranger to that. I have been down that road before. So today I'm going to share that system with you. But before we jump into the system, I want to share the results from the poll that I submitted. So let me go ahead and show you the results from the poll because I thought it was pretty interesting. In the poll, I asked, what is the biggest reason you struggle to save money while grocery shopping? And it went back and forth a little bit between the votes that were there. But the biggest thing are the top two, which is buying extra stuff and impulse buying, or the food goes bad before you can even remember to use it. And I truly believe that with today's system that I'm going to share with you, that you'll be able to combat some of these issues. And no one said that they don't know what they already have in their pantry, which is good because pantry organization is a huge deal. And then the very last one was coming up really close in the polls, which was I rarely follow a strict plan or list. But even if that is you, then you will walk away today with something that will help you. All right. So let me make sure I have this right. Here we go. All right. So of the system, here is step 1. Step 1 is going to be the foundation of the system. Now, if you saw my interview with JC over at the Frugal Rich, then you will have heard me mention pantry categories. Pantry categories is it's the bread and butter of my system. This is how I make my system function. Most people tend to group their pantry in certain categories, right? And I know that for me, I group them by how I plan to use them and not necessarily what I have. Now, we've all been there. Now, if don't leave me hanging out here, let me know in the comments. Have you been someone who's went grocery shopping, had a pantry or fridge full of food, and then you still said, "Man, we don't have anything to eat." That is a very common thing, and the only reason why that happens is because we're missing a little bit of structure and a little bit of a system in place. So when I say I do my things based on function, this is a real live picture of my pantry. And as you can see, of course, I have my little doggy snacks and things at the very top, but right here, that middle row is breakfast, and this second row is baking. And it's good for me to see that little container right there in the middle that looks like it's kind of like brown. That is my coffee. I do buy coffee in bulk. That helps me decide when I need to buy more coffee. So when it gets to a certain level, I already know based on what I see that needs to go on my list. Same for all these other things down here in my baking section. I put rice down here just because it looks cute with it, but it still can go in my baking section because sometimes I bake rice in a casserole dish. But I do know that based on this, I'm going to need a little bit more rice. Now, if you're just joining in, welcome, welcome. Make sure you drop in the comments where you are from so I can know where you are joining me from today. And if you are watching this on the replay, just write in the chat replay and what state you're in so I can know where you are. All right. Here's the thing with functional categories. They help you make fast decisions. Meals come together really fast. You have fewer duplicates, and then there's less decision fatigue. And I don't know about you, but I can recall a time of saying, "What's for dinner? What's for dinner?" Hounding my family about what they wanted to eat until I start to put this system in place. Now, keep in mind when it comes to categories, the way that my pantry is set up and the way that my freezer is set up is completely different. Now, when it comes to the freezer itself, I do group that more so by the type of meat that I have. So, for instance, in the freezer is based on beef, chicken, turkey, seafood. That's how it's broken down based on what type of protein it is. Whereas though in the pantry, it's based on function for easy assembly. The visibility rule. I'm really big on this one. If you can see it, you'll use it. And some of the times, the biggest issues we run into is that we don't have our pantry situated in a way that we can see what we have in there, and the same for our fridge and freezer. So we want to make sure that whatever we have in there, it is structured to be of a system and assistance to us and not to be a burden to us. Most people, when it comes to the visibility, they realize, oh man, I didn't know that was back there. So they end up not using it. So we just need to do a little bit of restructuring of our pantry to make sure that we don't miss anything because food waste is expensive. And when you have clear containers, like I just showed you, then your pantry talks to you. And I talk back to it by making sure I fill it up with the things that I know that it needs to be a successful system for me and my family. Kitchen surveillance. Now, this falls under the visibility thing. And what that is basically you are going into your kitchen every time you open your pantry, your fridge, your freezer, whether you know it or not, you are doing a quick inventory scan. Sometimes it sits in your memory, sometimes it does not. But this is what I call the continual kitchen surveillance. And when you are surveying your kitchen, this is where you end up being able to save money because there is no surprises on what you do and don't have. And you have immediate cues on what it is that you actually need to restock. This is what my actual pantry and freezer somewhat looks like. I have not updated this picture. This was a picture of my freezer from like a week or so ago. I did recently just add in there a whole bunch of chicken that I cut up. I also added in this turkey that I got. By the way, if you are close to a Wegmans, it is 29 cents a pound for turkey. So if that is something you're interested in, go check them out. And apparently Giant also has turkeys for 27 cents a pound. I think if you spend at least $25. So if you have space in your freezer to get it before Turkey Day, then go ahead and grab you a turkey from Wegmans or from Giant. That was not a part of the plan, but I want you to know that it is out there and available to you. So as you can see, my pantry and my freezer is based on categories. All right. The planning principle. This is where the real magic comes in for me. Now, the way that my pantry and my freezer is set up is based on these three things. Am I able to have a protein, a starch, and a veggie? Now, don't judge me, y'all. Sometimes we don't have a veggie depending on what we're eating. Like if we're eating chili, it's really hard for me to incorporate some type of vegetable. So I just make sure I throw some other things in there with it that I feel are nutritious for us. But planning my meals based on this is literally how I tend to keep things in shape because otherwise I probably lose it a little bit. Now, this is what we're doing. We are focusing on meal assembly, not meal creation. We are not inventing a recipe at this point, okay? And we're just assembling meals based on what we know we already have. The reason why we're not doing a recipe is because if you have certain things in place, then you can create a recipe. For instance, let's talk about chicken. We can have chicken in many different ways. We can have jerk chicken, baked chicken, stewed chicken, sauteed chicken, air fried chicken, shredded chicken. We don't have to worry about the recipe. We need to make sure we have it on hand because if we have it, we'll know what to do with it. All right. So if you are out there, and I know you are because I can see some of you are here with me, so I appreciate you. I want you to now tell me in the comment section What are three combinations from what you already have on hand that you know for sure you could probably make a meal today or tomorrow, whatever your preference is? I personally don't like to cook on Fridays. I don't know about y'all, but I cook enough throughout the beginning of the week that there's enough leftovers for the family. So I call Fridays fish the fridge or fend for yourself, because I think I've done enough work leading up to Friday to make sure that there's meals in the house. So please let me know if you can think of three things that are already in your pantry, fridge, and freezer where you can make a meal today or tomorrow or whatever day you decide to. Let me know in the comments. Now, here's the blueprint of my entire system. This is what makes my system run. I cannot stress this enough. The blueprint is my family favorites list. It makes it so that there's stress-free planning, that I am not reinventing the wheel every single day, and I'm repeating what works. Let's be honest. Sometimes our family can be extremely picky, okay? I know what my family like. My favorites list, we call this our greatest hits in our house. It's like we're creating our music playlist. Honey, I know for sure if I have this thing ready and available to me, there are no secrets behind what's taking place in my kitchen. I don't have room for somebody to tell me I don't like this, because I've already spent the time to make sure I have curated our kitchen to be what we need so everybody has something. So the family favorites is going to save you so much time and decision fatigue. I hope you can see this. I tried my best to make it as big as possible, but it was different from the list. But this is a real live view of what my family list looks like for this week. I make sure that I list out my entrees, the sides, the desserts, and the beverages. Yes, we break it down as far as beverages because I need to know if I have to make sweet tea this week or lemonade, if I need some simple syrup on hand, because I make those things because it's super cheap and easy to do. So I make sure that I have all of these things on hand. So there we go. That's my list. Now, the list can change for the seasons. So you see, even here at the top, I have winter 2025. These are some things that we like to eat. I'll give you an example. We love to eat lasagna, and I've recently come across this lasagna soup trend, right? So sometimes we'll have regular lasagna, sometimes we'll have lasagna soup, especially on a really busy day. But the whole point of it is I know what it is that my family likes to eat in the wintertime, and we're not second guessing anything. All right. So thank y'all for the comments in the chat. I appreciate you for showing me some love this morning and for being here. And at the end, I'm certainly going to spend some time answering your questions if you have any. So please let me know, because we are almost at the end. Okay. We're going to make this quick and simple. So here is where we are going to start saving the money. I have gone through tips 1 through 4 of my entire system, but this is where the real magic begins to happen. Okay. The money saving before the grocery store. You've already done a kitchen surveillance. Your pantry is set up so that you know what you have and what you don't have. Now we are filling in the gaps. And when it comes to filling in the gap, we are only buying what completes the meal or any items you need to restock. This is how I save money. I've already shown you the meals that I keep track of. Now I know what's in my pantry because I can clearly see it. Then I can decide, okay, these are the meals that I can make happen this week. Here's a sample list of what my grocery list looks like this week. The week is not over. I may have to run to the grocery store, so you don't see a total right there just yet. But what I knew for sure was I needed some cottage cheese this week, some tomatoes because I didn't have any tomato sauce, and I also needed a 5-pound bag of potatoes. Over here for the staples, my all-purpose flour is running low, the rice is running low, and I know that I needed bell peppers. Bell peppers is kind of a staple to me. Although it's refrigerated, what I'll often do is buy them in bulk, cut them up, freeze them, and then take out the portions that I need over time. I didn't have any bell peppers in the freezer when I looked at the beginning of the week, so I knew I needed to buy some. I'm also starting to incorporate some things that I need for Thanksgiving. I recently just mentioned that turkeys are on sale at Wegmans and at Giant, 29 cents a pound and 27 cents a pound. So I certainly went to Wegmans and got me a turkey. I spent like $7 for it. So, but our menu for the week, as you can see here, it was chili, jerk chicken. We also had roasted chicken, and we had something else, steak and potatoes. We'll have steak and potatoes on tomorrow. But when I had roasted chicken, we had kale and rice with the jerk chicken. We just duplicated those. I did not create new sides. I made enough kale and rice for us to use it for both of those meals. We didn't eat them back to back, so it didn't seem like it was the same meal. They definitely felt like different meals. So this is what I call filling in the gap. You've done a surveillance of your kitchen. You already know what you have on hand and you know what your family actually likes to eat. This is what you take to the grocery store and how you prevent from overbuying. Now, I know that some of you may have missed the beginning part of it. I'm going to show you again what the results of the poll was, and then I'm going to recap the system because based on the results of the poll, we have every single thing that is needed here to make sure that you can stop eating your money. So the question was, what is the biggest reason you struggle to save money while grocery shopping? Now, it went back and forth. So those of you who actually answered the poll, thank you. I appreciate it. It gave me some good information. But the first one is I buy too much extra stuff or impulse buys. And as you can see, that tied with the second one, which is food goes bad before I remember to use it. No one said they didn't know what they have. So if you know what you have, we shouldn't have any problems with making sure that we match what we have to our family favorites to create a meal. The other one was I rarely follow a strict plan or a list. Well, now you have a plan. You have a game plan now. So we are going to make sure that we are sticking to the game plan because food is expensive and we don't have time to keep eating our money, right? So we're going to move on. And here we go. Here's a recap of our lovely system here. You want to make sure that you have your functional categories. That's how you do it based on type versus function. Jars, bags, those kinds of things. Those are type. Function is baking and breakfast and all those other kinds of things. So make sure your pantry and your fridge and your freezer are based on your function. The kitchen surveillance. Make sure you are frequently remembering what you have. And if you don't, just sit down and jot it down for the week. Hey, this is what I know for sure I have. Then now you can move on to your meal assembly formula. For me, it is making sure that we have a protein, a vegetable, and a starch. And then you're going to use your family favorite blueprint to decide what you're going to eat for that week based on what you have. And then you're going to go ahead and fill in the gap with your grocery list. And there you have it. That is my continual grocery saving system. All right, let me see here. And thank you all for supporting me in this first live because I had absolutely no clue what I was doing. And I appreciate you guys for not leaving me out there and for commenting. But if you are new here or if you are returning, thank you. I appreciate it. If you saw my interview with the Frugal Rich and you crossed the internet streets and you came over here from the Frugal Rich community, welcome. I appreciate you. And if you I popped up on your YouTube home feed and you have decided to join me, I appreciate you as well. I hope that I can share something with you that will help you stop eating your money because my ultimate goal is to help you save money in the kitchen so you can redirect it to something that you really want to do in this life. In this season, maybe some people want to use that money as a part of giving back to the community. Maybe they want to use it for buying Christmas gifts, or maybe you just want to get out of debt in 2026. So my whole goal is to help you stop eating your money so that when January comes, you can still pay your bills. We are now in the question and answer session. So if you have a question about the system, or if you want me to go back and talk about something, maybe you joined late and you missed something, let me know. I'm going to look over here in the comments and see what everybody is saying. Okay, I see you. Is it Mara? Thank you for showing me some love. I appreciate it. Now, I don't want to butcher anybody's name. So when I show it you on the screen, just know that I appreciate you for showing up. Okay, kimchi, rice, and tuna. All right, now my daughter would love you. She studied abroad in South Korea for a while and she came back eating all kinds of stuff that mommy does not know how to cook. So I'm learning. Okay, tilapia, broccoli, and rice. I love me some tilapia, broccoli, and rice. It is a for sure go to around here. We can have us a quick meal. Chicken tacos, salmon patties, chili. Okay, we got some meals coming through here. Beef liver rice and multiple frozen vegetables. Okay, I see you. I see you. Now, I have some beef liver. I don't really eat beef liver, but I should stay off the internet. You know why I should stay off the internet? Because now I want to dehydrate my beef liver and grind it up and then just add it into different foods that we eat because I know that it is very nutritious. It has a lot of stuff in it that we should be eating. So, okay, rice, pepper, squash, sausage, and stir fry. And for anyone who is just now joining us, we have concluded the presentation already. I'm going through the comments and we're going to go through some question and answers really quick. This will be in the replay. And if something didn't come up the way it was supposed to, maybe I'll still do a separate video about it because I think these 5 points are essential to helping us save money. Oh, I've done great. Thank you so much. Big love over the web. I appreciate you. Okay, I found your channel a few days ago and I liked it. You have a new subscriber here, and I already left my thumbs up. Greetings from Florida. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. So, and if for all the subscribers who are new to me, thank you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please be sure to do so because over here in this community, we are sharing tips. I am always in the comments. I do my best to reply to as many people as possible if you haven't seen it. I try to reply within 24 to 48 hours. I am under the weather, so my response time is a little low right now, but I refuse to cancel this live, although I have been like sniffling and all the things and dousing myself with tea this morning. So I thank you guys for subscribing because my channel has taken off thanks to you. Yes, this is my first live, so thank you for showing me love. I have a little bit of a background in going live somewhat, not really live, but I was a technical IT trainer, so I trained on technical solutions. So I was the person who was always on camera trying to teach people how to use the IT stuff. So I do have a little bit of history with actually talking to a camera, even if I feel like nobody's in the room with me. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, you found me this morning? Thank you for joining in. I appreciate you. Oh, this is amazing. I love you guys. Oh, I can't do liver. Kudos to those that can. Okay, yes, it is a healthy thing. I am trying to get down with it as well. And greetings from Wisconsin. Hello, hello. What time is it in Wisconsin? It's kind of early there. Thank you for being up bright and early and joining me. So, for anyone who is just joining in, this live is really just about Q&A at this point. I believe in getting to the point. I don't like to belabor anything. It will be in the replay, but all of these pieces that we're doing right now will be just for me. So I'm going to cut this part out because people don't need to see this in the replay. But I thank you guys for coming. If you do not have any questions for me, then I'm probably going to go ahead and end this live stream. But for those of you who do want it, I can send you over like a little list showing you what it is that I do with the 5-step system. I'll probably within the next 48 hours add it as a link, a pinned link in the comments so that you'll be able to click on it and be able to grab hold of those 5 points. But I appreciate you guys for showing me so much love this morning as I went live for the very first time. And I don't see any other questions. So with that, I'm going to end the live. You all have an amazing week and be on the lookout for my next video that should be posting within the next week or so. It's going to be about the kitchen gadgets that I use that actually save me money.